Let's talk about Saudi Arabia. Today, the country's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman met with Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. The two spoke about bilateral relations, but the 12-day war lurked throughout the conversation, and two countries from far away had their ears stuck to the door. What is really behind this Iran-Saudi meeting? What is Riyadh's long game? Is Israel a thorn for the Saudis, and how does China fit in this puzzle? I'm Ananya Dutta, and you're watching Grey Zone. About 3 weeks before the October 7th attack, Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen was very optimistic while speaking to the local radio. He had said, and I'm quoting, "We're expecting a deal to be reached soon." The minister was asked about a normalization deal with Saudi Arabia, where Riyadh will get a defense pact from the US, a Palestinian state, and Israel would withdraw from Palestinian territory and Syria's Golan Heights. It would have marked a historic reordering of the Middle East. But then, Hamas launched an unexpected attack on Israel, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu launched a war that has changed the future of the region forever. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman immediately abandoned all negotiations with Tel Aviv on normalization and addressed the Arab and Islamic summit to issue one of the harshest statements over Gaza.
الله الرحمن الرحيم أصحاب الجلالة والفخامة والدولة معالي الأمين العام لجامعة الدول العربية.
Distinguished attendees, our countries have taken important steps through their joint action at the international level to condemn the vicious Israeli aggression and affirm the centrality of the Palestinian cause. The Kingdom reiterates its condemnation and categorical rejection of the genocide committed by Israel against the brotherly Palestinian people.
It was clear the Kingdom's calculations had changed dramatically since October 7th. And if that wasn't enough, Israel's attack on Iran in the middle of the nuclear negotiations cemented MBS's concerns. This is the statement the Saudi Kingdom released right after the attack. I'm quoting from it. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia expresses its strong condemnation and denunciation of the blatant Israeli aggressions against the brotherly Islamic Republic of Iran. Brotherly Iran. Experts say these two geopolitical events left Saudi Arabia even more wary of Israel, which they see as an increasingly militaristic and destabilizing force, one that Riyadh doesn't want any taste of. So today's meeting in Jeddah cements this concern. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met with Saudi Crown Prince MBS, Defense Minister Khalid bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, and Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud. These three are top diplomats of the kingdom, all meaning business, and to further Riyadh's game plan here. Expectedly, we didn't hear much from the closed-door meeting. Saudi Arabia's official news agency, however, put out this statement. The Crown Prince expressed the kingdom's aspiration that the ceasefire agreement would contribute to creating conditions that promote security and stability in the region. This was after Tehran thanked MBS for condemning Israel's attacks. This kind of rapport is fairly new. Iran, with its Shia Muslim majority and Sunni majority Saudi Arabia, have often been on opposing sides of the regional conflicts, including in Syria and Yemen. The two regional heavyweights had even broken off diplomatic relations in 2016. Since the war between Iran and Israel ended, Netanyahu and US President Donald Trump have repeatedly floated the next item on their agenda, which is to reshape the Middle East through normalization between Israel and Arab countries.
But I think that there is an opportunity here to create a historic expansion of the Abraham Accords, which were themselves an act of history that deserve a Nobel Prize for the president. But I think the opportunities are much bigger, and I hope, I'd like to believe that Iran would not test our fortitude, because it would be a mistake.
Any deal will be an extension of the Abraham Accords, an accord Trump prides himself on. Back in 2020, just before leaving the White House, the US president brokered a normalization deal between Israel and 4 other Arab countries: the UAE, Morocco, Bahrain, and Sudan. But these countries weren't at war directly or indirectly with Israel. So convincing the Saudis to join this accord would be a big win, which will come with its own set of ripple effects. And experts say that at this moment, Riyadh isn't even thinking of normalization. Remember we said earlier that Riyadh and Tehran had broken diplomatic relations in 2016? It was only in 2023 that China played peacemaker and turned the two rivals into friends. And since then, the officials from both sides have been in regular contact. You see, a stable Gulf is vital for China's Belt and Road plans and energy imports. So looking at the developments, China could be nudging both to keep the region from blowing over Israel. And if it is, the plan is working. So where does all this leave us? Saudi Arabia is playing a long game, balancing American alliances, Israeli expectations, Arab sentiments, Iranian firepower, and Chinese diplomacy. 5 things. It's no longer just an oil kingdom. It's a regional power center recalibrating the Middle East chessboard in a region where every handshake echoes across borders. Today's meeting in Jeddah wasn't just about diplomacy. It was a message to Tehran, to Tel Aviv, and to Washington. I'm Ananya Dutta. You've been watching Grey Zone.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.